Good day, greetings. I'm pleased to be here. I'm from the Mzansi Climate Game Jam, which is a jam which is different in that it's a model of how to build inclusive community of practice that uses collaborative game making for diverse voices to reclaim their creative agency, game making, having fun with their innovative selves as part of how they express themselves and speak to the world. Gaming is our language and dialect of choice for social justice, immersive dialogue, exchanges, and advocacy. A project by Internet Teapot, supported by the Creative Industries Fund of Netherlands, the Mzansi Climate Game Jam is a makeup of 24 change makers who in teams engaged with the subject of climate change through a critically reflective lens that informed the shift in subject matter focus to the thematic focus of climate justice. This meant reflecting on the game design development process and practice towards imagining alternative, dystopian or utopian climate futures. And over a period of 1 month, we set out to design climate justice games that would center indigenous knowledge, decolonize knowledge sources on climate, and use games as a speculative design tool, not just in raising awareness, but also prototyping futures where justice is felt, not just theorized. So when you think about theories of change, ours was to get beyond a theory of change to a practice of change. And in so doing, there are a number of games that we then produced in terms of genres. And that is then reflected in us having games, then reflected in us having games such as this. This particular game was made off of Miro, and this is what we call a meme tournament. In that sense, the correlating meme that I've created is called Passing the Buck. So the one at the top is my meme card that you then use to play. So this was a meme tournament. This particular game was Links. The title of that game is called Links, and that's really about the global south and global north political dimension in and around climate change and climate justice. These games, this is a narrative game, Pula and Roots. That particular game is made by Brandon. He's in the room today, and that's called Power to the People. And this is a board game that's called Biome Evolver. So this is just to reflect the type of output that came out of the game jam, in that it's an eclectic mix of game genres. But over and above that, that actually comes from and emanates from the eclectic mix of participants and their backgrounds. So we have researchers, we have geographers in the mix. So for us, it was also about making the circle bigger in terms of our community. And we didn't go or choose or select the conventional background through which you then say, okay, they have some experience. One of the criteria that we had is we want no experience, first and foremost. And then we'd constitute the teams in a way where they could also draw on each other's strengths, insights, and backgrounds. In doing so, my specific role as country coordinator in South Africa, thereby representing a global South outlook, facilitated exploring what climate justice looks, thinks, and feels like, empowering participants to explore and reflect in different ways of framing climate justice issues based on their local realities and experiences. Whereby, for instance, in certain instances, there's a reflection on the practice of taking the umbilical cord when a child is born in African communities and planting it in a tree so that it grows with the tree. So some of these actually reflections and insights actually came through in the games themselves, which is indigenous knowledge. This was a reset where frames of reference were broadened, fixed beliefs were questioned, and shifts began that would bring revised, renewed context to the theme of what climate justice is. By centering Global South voices, the Game Jam modeled how play can dismantle oppressive systems. But I was not alone. In having to achieve these milestones and objectives, it was a team effort. From the organizing team to the mentors who anchored the design practice outcomes and guidelines, troubleshooting and supporting teams to solve for challenges in design, to the conceptual framing around what exactly are we engaged with in terms of from the global south and global north, those dynamics and reflecting on that. So the team dynamic, the collaborative dynamic actually played a significant part in our achievements, which also were contributed to by subject matter experts from different communities. And this is who participated and contributed to during our community talks events during the week. I invite everyone to actually go to our website. On there, you'd get updates, you'd get a sense of what's been achieved, what we've done. To date, we've been fortunate. We've presented on the Africa E-Challenge, which is out of West Africa, and also been invited to speak on global forums such as on the 9th of August, the Global Indigenous Youth Summit for Climate Change. So we're definitely making inroads in terms of the platform and the project itself, but over and above that, we're also a platform for inclusive design thinking in and around game development. With that said, I'd like to invite my colleague, Mpume, to come and showcase one of the games.
More than showcase, I'm actually going to talk a bit about my experience of the Game Jam. So right off the bat, I had no experience in game development. So the opportunity itself felt like such a huge privilege and also like such a scary, intimidating opportunity. Just to give you some context, I have an academic background lecturing theater studies and media studies. I've also done curriculum design. And what I had found is once the curriculum has been implemented, you do a curriculum review, and you find that students are scoring really high for their practical exams like acting. But when it came to theory, their marks were quite low. And after some probing and investigation, it was clear that it's because students don't like to read. So I had created this board game that really would test their spelling abilities, which helped them expand their vocabulary, and it really encouraged them to read. So I had this curiosity of how one can use games for education, how games can translate into educational technology. But I realized that I could not, code the game because I didn't have the coding skills. So it was just played on the board. And actually, a member of this community said, come through to this community. It's a great place to explore, to learn, to get acquainted. But I was very certain that this was a room full of tech wizards, that I would come here, I would drown in this community, and that I would need to actually first go and gain some of my own skills first. So I did. I learned some coding, picked up some HTML, some CSS, a little bit of Java, documents, query selectors. I can make buttons click and do things. I designed a cute, cozy website, and I felt like, hey, I'm coming into something now. And then I applied for this. But then, they said you didn't have to be a programmer. You could have just been a storyteller. And as someone who has a background in theater and media and film, like, of course, that much I can do. And so I expected that that is what, would be the role that I'd have. But then I became a programmer, which was extremely intimidating, extremely difficult. But that was the thing about this particular game jam. You were really held and supported. You were really equipped. On a typical, the game jam ran for a month. We'd meet on Saturdays, every Saturday, and online, but obviously throughout the week we were working. But like on a typical Saturday, you arrive in the morning, you have a chat with a climate expert who will just really unpack a particular subject around climate change. And it really got your mind thinking about climate justice and climate change, something that I already do care about. That's why I applied for this game jam. But, I think in climate change conversations, there's a lot of doom and gloom. And I remember really caring when I was younger. Surely we all did an oral lecture on global warming at some point. and like really caring. But then I think as the years went by, it started feeling like this topic that was so out of touch. It didn't feel close to you. It was about the world. And this game jam made climate change personal to us. It localized it into our personal experiences. What does it mean for us? What does it mean for environment? And also not to center ourselves in the climate change conversation, but what does it mean about animals and plants, that we are not it, we are actually destroying the world, for destroying the ecosystems, and like what is our responsibility, what is our agency in that. So it felt good to feel like one can do something, like, and it feels like a drop in the ocean, but it really is a something. And that was something that was quite inspiring to learn about games, is their ability to bring and drive social change. As someone who has never been a part of a game development process, we're equipped with ways to package your game into promo, prep documents, the game design. You guys know these languages and these things, and how to put together prototype documents when you test, to ask the relevant questions. We also had chats every Tuesday, more masterclasses, and the one that really moved us and inspired our story was a chat from Dr. Matsilo, which was on Indigenous knowledge systems, the one that Xolisi spoke about, the umbilical cord being planted. In our game, it is a narrative game on twine. This girl comes back home. Their vegetable garden is in disarray because of climate change. And this birth tree, which was planted when she was born, is also withering away because of the change in grains. And so it is her mission to make decisions, farming choices, that help to revive this tree and revive this vegetable garden. So it's a narrative based game. And we were just so held, so supported by our mentors. We had participants from the Netherlands. And so we're also learning how climate change is affecting people in different parts of the world, and really collaborating and learning through their ideas and their approaches of game development. And through this experience, I think myself and many others walked away with so much confidence, like that we can contribute into the gaming community. And I've been inspired to make more socially conscious games, and I participated in the Women Game Jam, and I'm just so excited to do more. And it would not have been possible without the Mzansi Climate Justice Game Jam. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for lending me your ear.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the talk. It was very insightful. We truly appreciate it. Now it's about the hyper talk. So if you guys want to give any hyper talks at the next Game Devs, it's a 5 to 10 minute talk, 2 to 4 talks per meetup, and it must be game dev related. So if you guys feel the opportunity to come and give a talk at the next Game Devs, please feel free to do so. Next slide. And if you want to MC like me, anyone is free to do so if you just speak to Stephen about it, and we'll make it happen, and you can MC like me. All right, I think this is the fun time of the night. This is the playtest pitchathon. So you've got 30 seconds to pitch your game, and these games will be played inside the hall. If you have anything to pitch, please come up now.
Get into your car with guns. Take down your enemies, steal their cash, stack up enough money to get to the extraction point and get the fuck out of Dodge. I'll be my story.
You have like fancy cars and sick tricks and flicks. Well, come on down and play Spinners from Fat Cook Studios. We've got some new open world contents that you know to become test out, some new levels. If you guys are returning, there's definitely some new content, and if you guys are new, come check it out.
It's cool, I got it.
Okay.
You guys like rubber duckies and Iron Fence games, and as I assume most of you do, software development. And check out our course pipe ducky place.
Hey everyone, I'm from the Speed of People Games. We really knew that people love soccer, so we wanted to make a game like FIFA or Rocket League or Rematch, but we couldn't do that. So instead we made Super Disc KFC. It's a action puzzle soccer game where you score goals the Mzansi way. So please come check it out. It's the deal.
And hi everyone, I'm also from this Meet People Game. We are running a picture competition for Hypertalk. Your woman information can come find this series.
War is hell. Correction, software is hell. Scott.exe is a Windows 98 themed volatile where you'll be taking on raw files, corrupted error messages, and the infamous Mzansi buddy. So if you think that you can operate on this system, come give it a try and see if you can meet the eye.
Home is close. Safety is not. The 4 old men are back from the dead and we have something special to show you.
We have a top-down shooter that would like feedback on, particularly the bosses. We have 3 bosses. First one to beat the final boss, you get a special surprise.
Hi everyone. We made a game for a game jam. The theme was the boot. And our game is called One Day.
Forever.
All right, thank you guys for that. Please don't forget, if you want to try them out, please go to the hall and try those games out. And yeah, thank you to the Goethe-Institut Campus Game Jam, 24-bit games, and thank you to all of you guys for being here. Thank you for making this night possible. And just a reminder that the next meetup is on the September 11th. Second Thursday of each month. Just keep that in mind. And if you want to keep in touch with the Campus Game Jam Discord and Instagram, these are the links right here and the ads for the Campus Game Jam on Instagram. And Make Game South Africa's Discord is right here. And if you want to scan the QR code, please do so now. All right, guys, that ends it for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let's go test some games now.